Łódź, a city woven from factories. Its history is inextricably intertwined with the Industrial Revolution that swept across Europe in the 19th century. It was a true promised land. It grew on the energy of steam and human dreams. And it all started with water. Small rivers became the driving force of Łódź's industry. It was along their banks that water and factory plots were marked out, which attracted visionaries and entrepreneurs. Ludwig Geyer, a pioneer of the Łódź textile industry, Karl Scheibler, the creator of the industrial empire in the Księży Młyn urban complex, or Israel Poznański, whose gigantic factory complex on the Łódka River became a symbol of the city's power. These are just a few names from a long list of entrepreneurs of many nationalities whose factories dominated the Łódź landscape for years, becoming inextricably interwoven with the urban fabric. There were factories everywhere, even where the offices of city officials and the voivodeship office are located today. Once upon a time, the looms of the mechanical weaving mill of Juliusz Heinzel, known as the Łódź King of Wool. Łódź factories built of red brick and enriched with towers and decorative details. Their appearance brings to mind fortified castles, not just functional industrial facilities. They were a manifestation of the ambitions of their owners, who created their industrial empires. This unique landscape, a mixture of monumental factories, palatial mansions and workers' estates, was recognized. In 2015, Łódź was entered on the list of historical monuments as a multicultural landscape of an industrial city. About 200 such structures have survived to this day in the heart of the city, evidence of an extraordinary past. The political transformation of the 1990s brought an end to the state-owned textile industry that had defined Łódź for decades. The machines fell silent. Enormous factories that once bustled with thousands of workers became relics of a bygone era. The city was confronted with a daunting challenge: what to do with these massive brick giants, now obsolete, often deteriorating, and stripped of purpose. How does one come to terms with a legacy that has turned into an economic burden? A new challenging chapter opened in the story of Łódź's factories. Their fates unfolded in very different and often tragic ways. For many, there was no rescue, only destruction. The Norbelana wool industry plant, whose roots reached back to the pre-war Isert and Prusak companies, has vanished from the map of Łódź. A similar fate befell Polmerino, the worsted spinning mill that had operated since the late 19th century. Where once industrial life thrived, housing estates now stand. Only scattered fragments remain of the former Biedermann factory, once known for its colorful velvet production, along with the memory of a tragic fire. Ortul, formerly the Böhler Brothers factory, and Fakora, known for boilers and radiators, have likewise faded into history. Or Maltex, where a shopping center now stands. In many cases, only a solitary chimney remains, a silent witness to the city's former industrial power. Once a symbol of Łódź, now just a guardian of memory. Other factories managed to escape the bulldozers, but time and neglect have taken their toll. Abandoned, they fall into ruin, claimed by nature and targeted by vandals. The former Groman fine spinning mill, the Yarotinski plant, and the monumental Adam Ossa factory still await their fate, suspended between a vanished past and an uncertain future. Some sites, however, were given a second life, adapted to new needs with minimal investment and without grand transformations. The former modern Vera knitwear factory now serves sports enthusiasts. The buildings of Polino have been converted into offices. The impressive Textile Impex warehouses on Nicianiana Street, once a strategic facility with its own railway siding, have been transformed into a unique stage for cultural events, now pulsing with the energy of young creators. Amid the ruins and reinventions, a few valuable examples of continuity remain. The Ariadna Thread Factory on Nicianiana Street has been in uninterrupted operation since 1897, a living bridge to Łódź's industrial past. Though its output today is modest compared to its heyday, the city's textile and clothing sector survives, reshaped by the demands of a new era. The turn of the millennium marked a true turning point. No longer viewed solely as a burden, the city's factories began to be seen as spaces of enormous potential. Thus began the era of great revitalization. More than 45 former factory complexes have been brought back to life, reimagined for entirely new purposes. The pioneering and most iconic example is Manufaktura, the transformation of Israel Poznański's industrial empire into a shopping, cultural, and entertainment center. It has become the new heart of Łódź and a symbol of successful revitalization on a European scale. Monopolis, the former vodka monopoly, followed in its footsteps, transformed into a multifunctional space, a city within the city. The historic factory walls have also become a sought-after place to live. Scheibler's lofts, housed in the former cotton spinning mill within the Księżymłyn urban complex, sparked a trend for post-industrial living. On the site of the former Uniontex factories, once part of the Scheibler and Groman industrial empire, the multifunctional Fuzja complex is taking shape, blending history with modernity and earning international acclaim. A comparable revival is unfolding at former Weimar industrial complex, where the historic factory buildings are finding new purpose as residential and office spaces. Former factories have also become home to modern businesses. The restored Myrli Brothers spinning mill, the Synergia business center in the former Daub factory, and the Zenit office building are just a few examples of how historical architecture has been successfully adapted into high-end office space. These remarkable projects show that respect for history can be creatively combined with the needs of contemporary life, shaping a unique, multidimensional urban landscape. Łódź's industrial heritage is a story etched in brick and mortar. Vast, imposing buildings adorned with intricate details, each a testament to the wealth and aspirations of those who built them. Modern industrial halls are built for speed and economy. Light steel structures, sandwich panels. Functional, yes, but stripped of the character, craftsmanship, and historical gravity that once defined them. The effort to save and reinvent former factories goes on, breathing new life into these once mighty industrial fortresses. It is an ongoing challenge and a unique chance to shape the future of the city through the legacy of its extraordinary past. The history of Łódź's factories is far from over. It is still unfolding right before our eyes.